Afternoon all. How are we all doing? So, what just happened to the indices? That's a big move. Unemployment claims have come out. But literally in the last 5 minutes, the market's just gone completely crazy. Not quite sure what's happened. I'm just scanning the news and I've got the news on. I can't see anything that's happened. So not quite sure what that is. But hey, these are the times we live in. Buenos dias, Fano. So news was... where was news? There. So that was the unemployment claims. So there wasn't any movement off the unemployment claims. But markets just gone completely crazy across the board. DAX has shot up. S&P shot up. NAS has shot up. It's all shot up. It's all gone crazy. So yeah. Mental. Afternoon, Trevor. Sorry, just scanning news quickly. I was just flicking through some other news channels, just to see if I can see why this has moved. But I can't. Anyway, right. We'll carry on. Afternoon, Franco Diamond. Morning, all. Kansas City. Is that the windy city? Kansas City. Is it windy? I suppose it depends how windy it is. Right, anyway. Getting on. So, RSI dashboard. First time I have seen that for I don't know how long. I can't remember the last time I saw that light up. I don't think it's lit up in the last year that I can think of. But yeah, so Euro odd has managed to get down to below 10 on RSI 4 hour. So I have not seen that, hand on heart, for an awful long time. So this week, this entire week, since we started on Monday, we've had one green 4 hour candle on Euro odd. This thing is absolutely destroyed. Chicago is a windy city, isn't it? That's right. Yeah, absolutely, man. Actually, there's another little green one there. You can just about see it's green where the order block, the reversal support rectangle is. So yeah, absolutely catastrophic drop. CAD, we're massively extended on as well. We're up to 80, which I would normally class as being, wow, look at that, we need to be jumping on this thing. Euro New Zealand, same thing. We've almost got below. So yeah, all these euros are absolutely destroyed at the minute. Absolutely destroyed. So not trading any euros at the minute. Pound odd. Still coming down. Pound CAD still coming down, although that's bottomed out a little bit at the moment. So yeah, still really weak pounds as well. Euro pound, if you look at the euro pound, we've got a very weak pound, and the euro's only managed to get that out of it in a 4 hour candle. So you see how weak it is at the minute. We've got other new joiners in the 4 hour RSIs. Hi, Stevier. Aussie dollar yen has got extended to the upside. So we've broken out those highs and is chugging along very nicely. So there's a couple of levels potentially that one's going to come back down to retest. So very nice extension on the Aussie dollar yen. I'm quite surprised this is pushing up quite so hard at the moment, considering we should have a bit more money flowing into the yen, which doesn't seem to be obviously happening at the minute. So let's have a quick look at the dollar index. Yeah, I was just wondering if that move on the indices was caused by the dollar. It doesn't seem to be. So yeah, Aussie dollar yen nicely extended up here. We got a nice sort of reversal starting, and we've just double topped. So it's looking like potentially this could be the start of a pullback. Got a really nice double top just gone in, triple top actually. So we had a double top put in Asia, and we've just rejected that level again. So this is looking really good for a potential drop. M5, you will be getting an alert shortly on that. So yeah, looking good. Aussie dollar yen potentially for a drop. Very, very big move on that Australian dollar. Any kind of yen strength coming through, and this one's obviously going to come down pretty hard. We've got two good levels there to aim for as targets. So keep your eyes on the Aussie dollar yen. Aussie dollar New Zealand as well. Extended on the 4 hour. JKLMN. That should be after that one. Keep looking for things and they're in the wrong places. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar started to come down now. So just about to get the reverse alert on that one right now. Just had an M5 alert. Oh, no. Yes, we have. Yeah, just had an M5 alert on that one. M15, just about to get it. So a lot of movement going on. Really nice rejection of the highs. Asian liquidity run. So looking good for a short as well. So some good moves going on at the moment. Mainly across the indices. Scanning the news, basically, just seeing if we can find out why that is happening at the moment, but still nothing coming through. Putin informed Macron that he was battling neo-Nazi regime, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, nothing. Nothing that I can see. I can't believe that's off the back of the unemployment claims. It's not off the back of the unemployment claims because it's affecting the DAX as well. So... just some weird knee-jerk reaction we got going on there. So yeah, we'll have a look at that in a minute. So that's all the RSIs on the 4 hours. The hourlies, very similar. Aussie dollar yen, nicely extended. So these ones, anything that's not euro-based and at the moment not pound-based, is still open if you want to position trade it. So... just got to be very, very careful and a little bit tight on these. But Aussie dollar yen nicely extended on the hourly. Looking like we're starting to put a reversal in on that one. Obviously, it's very extended on the 4 hourly. If it's extended on the hourly and the 4 hourly, obviously, big advantage. And the Aussie dollar New Zealand dollar as well is nicely extended. We've just taken out the highs, as you can see there. And that's just starting to put a lovely bearish engulfing in. We had a 3-bar reversal. Anybody that entered short stuck their stops above the Asian high. They've taken that liquidity and they're on with it now. So looking good for shorts. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. The others we've got lit up are the euros and the pounds. So nothing exciting there. ADRs today, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. As you can see, this one's a bit of a funny one. Again, we got this always happens on the New Zealand dollar. It's absolute pain in the backside. Broker candle. Well, I don't know if it's a broker candle, but took out all the liquidity down there, New Zealand dollar, at the start of Asia, and it always tends to do it in the first sort of hour to an hour and a half of Asia for some reason when it's going to do it. So the ADR on this, potentially, if you take that out of the equation and start the move from here, ADR on this one's 48. We've still hit it. So it's either a 125 or a 100 ADR hit to the high, whichever way you look at it, basically. So nice ADR reversal there. So M5 entry. Very weird price action though. Very big candlesticks there. So that one's hit, and euro odd, but obviously we do not want to be long in the euro. It's come off of ADR 100 very, very nicely, but I wouldn't get too interested in that one. So weeklies, obviously, we've got some massive weekly moves on the Swissy specifically is in the lead at the moment. But again, Euro Swiss, I wouldn't look at taking any reversals on any of these. It is calming down a bit, the Euro Swiss. We've had some decent price action coming in, but that's mainly off the back of Swiss franc weakness. So it's looking like it wants to do a little bit of a move, but obviously the Swiss franc can have money dumped into it at any time. So very tricky at the moment. So that's all we've got basically on those. Is there anything hit monthly? Nothing's hit monthly yet. So that's really all you've got from an ADR perspective. If you're going to be trading anything at the moment, you want to be trading H1M5 really, and obviously concentrating on the pairs like the Aussies, the New Zealands, and the US dollars. Obviously US dollar longs. Anybody get into any of these US dollars? Whoops. We had an extension on the US dollar CAD. We looked at that one this morning. That's played out very nicely this morning. The US dollar yen we were looking at yesterday from the ADR extension to the high didn't give you anything there and pushed up again into these highs. We looked at that one again this morning. That one's coming off the highs very nicely as well. So those two are starting to play out. Not really any strength of movement yet off of that one, but we should be seeing at least sort of a 30 to 50% pullback if we're going to continue to the upside on the US dollar on that. It's due a profit take move on that one. And the US dollar Swiss, that was, that one didn't get anywhere, did it? So it's US dollar yen and US dollar CAD we were looking at. So those are the two basically that we had this morning that we were looking at for setups, which seem to have played out fairly nicely, but again, not a massive amount of movement, unfortunately, on them. Not enough to really to get a profit take. You had your alert this morning there, and you've got sort of 12, 13 pips out of it on a 70 ADR. So, yeah, not great. Not great movement at the moment. So, news-wise this afternoon, after the New York Open, we've got Powell testifying along with the PMIs. So we should see some decent movement at 3. I suspect we might get a little bit of a relaxed open in New York today. So I'm probably going to have a go at just some quick scalps on futures at the open. See if we can get some movement on those. And not really sure about directional bias. We'll have a look at all the indices in a minute and just see where we've gone for the day. Obviously, the last half an hour's worth of price action has thrown it out a little bit. And then this afternoon, we've got CAD, we've got Macklem at 4:30. So with all of these at the minute, anything could be said with what's going on overseas at the moment, and foreign policy could change at any moment, which will affect domestic policy as well. So we could see some movement this afternoon on the CAD and the US. So we'll keep an eye on those ones. Has anybody got any pairs in particular they want to have a look at or do an analysis on? We've got a quarter of an hour until the open. So my plan was to basically just go through the indices, really, and have a look at gold and oil. And then, oops, one of my MT4s disconnected. And then if you want, I can have a quick flick through all the pairs, depending on how much time we've got before the open. So I'm going to do some futures this afternoon. That's the plan anyway. So oil. We had a push to start with this morning, and we've had an absolute collapse. So I'm not quite, this is obviously to do with whatever has just happened to the indices as well, isn't it? This is timed the same as the indices. Yeah, something's definitely happened. We've had a collapse on oil. Bit of a move down on gold, not a lot. At the same time as the indices pushed, but we've had no movement on the US dollar, which is weird. So, does anybody know what that is? Anybody seen any news anywhere? Something's happened. There's no earnings, is there? Productivity costs, fourth quarter, unemployment insurance weekly claims, beauty informed, Netflix. No. Very odd. Anyway. Oil. We were looking at new highs on oil today. Well, we got new highs on oil today. So we tapped up into 118. But obviously that's come down very hard there. So watch yesterday's low on that. If any, I don't know if anybody's trading oil at the moment. US dollar CAD got some good upticks. Good. This level here obviously is major support resistance, which is holding at the minute. So I'm not quite sure what this is and why it's happened, but ordinarily on a move like that I would be looking for a retracement back up to that wick to short a move like that, but I don't know what it is, so I'm not really interested in trading it. But yeah, so oil, obviously we are still pushing up to new highs, so oil is only going to be a buy at the moment unless there is any kind of embargo put in place by the world to stop buying Russian oil, which will obviously have an impact on the pricing, but it's only going up. David, Putin tells Macron Russia will achieve its goals in Ukraine. Yeah, I've watched, I heard obviously they had an hour and a half talk. We kind of knew about that, but that alone isn't something that should move the market like that, really. Franco still in and moving well on that on the US dollar CAD, yeah. Yeah, good moves on that at the moment. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what that is. So we'll see if we can find out. Oil, basically, yeah, we should see continuation to the upside on it. We're probably finding it's getting to the point where it's going to start slowing now. We've had a big push. $100 a barrel last week was like, wow, $100 a barrel. That's big. We've surpassed that by 15% in 3 days, basically 4 days. So I think we're probably finding a top on oil at the minute for the foreseeable, depending on obviously what happens next. So typically I would look to sort of go into a bit of an accumulation, particularly on that one at the moment. So kind of moves already done on that one. Gold, we didn't manage to get any new movement on that. We had a big buying frenzy when this all kicked off, which got completely reversed, which happens with a lot of instruments. That was the shock horror, oh, actually not too bad, actually maybe it is type move. At the moment, we're kind of flagging, looking for long. So I suspect and while this is all going on, we will see more money coming in for gold. There'll be more gold buying, which will increase the value of it. So we should see this steadily increase. So you'd be looking for long opportunities whenever you get them on gold. Should be looking to buy it basically whenever it sort of pulls back. At the moment, we're kind of sideways this week. We've not really gone anywhere. We opened up here and we're pretty much where we opened. So there's not been any increase on gold at all this week to speak about. So indices, looking at the major indices. The pullback, we've now got the 24. Yesterday, we were looking basically for either an accumulation. Remember I said we're sitting within this control candle at the moment. So we're looking for an accumulation, waiting for the 24 to come down on top of price and then drive it down for the next leg. So we're looking for a continuation leg down in the bear market. 24 to 72 area in here is where we should see that starting. So today we've had a good up day. So I think today we'd be looking for, we've done the pullback. Now let's start the next leg down. So looking for shorts, particularly on the US indices today. S&P, again, same thing. We're up in there. We've made new highs. We put a lovely double top in yesterday. We've just taken those highs out from yesterday. That's only just happened, though, off the back of this news. Yeah, so we weren't taking out yesterday's high until literally half an hour ago, and all of a sudden we popped straight out the top of that. So we're definitely up in the sell zone here. Next invalidation level is 44.84, which is basically where I would say if we break that high, we're going into a bit of a sideways pause. So for market structure to continue to the downside, if you take that into account as a pullback, we don't really want to be invalidating that high. We don't really want to be going much more than where we are at the moment before next leg down. So we'll see. Oil is at 113 now. Yeah, crazy, isn't it? I'm so glad I've got an electric car. He says as the price of electricity goes up. So yeah, S&P, same thing, looking for shorts. And same on the Dow. The Dow has been a little bit more contracted. So we've had quite a few more days sideways on the Dow. And we're a bit more consolidatory on this than we are on the other instruments. So again, but they're all going to be doing roughly the same thing. We had an ever so tiny gap up today, which filled almost immediately on the DAX. The DAX hasn't really had much of a good day. It's pulled back down and back up again. So we are miles away. Remember I said yesterday, I was looking for a 50% pullback yesterday. We didn't quite get it. And then it sort of pulled off the highs. So I think we might get a bit more upside on it today, but we are so far away from that moving average. I really think it probably wants to just sit and accumulate for a little bit. But with what's going on in Europe at the moment, the European stocks are not doing well, as we can see. And obviously based on the fact that we're in a bear market across the rest of the world as well, this could well obviously just continue to drop today. So. Chart looks like profit taking on oil. Yeah, it does to me as well. Ordinarily, I would look at fading that and shorting because I would see that as a news event, but it's not a news. I don't know what it is. If you don't know what caused it, you can't trade it. I mean, that's a hell of a profit take move, but. I don't know. I don't usually trade oil, you see, and I don't trade oil anyway, and therefore I'm not that familiar with its sort of profit-taking moves. Yeah, I mean, it does do these big ones every now and again, doesn't it? So if you take that into the equation of the expanded volatility we've had, that's probably maybe a normal profit-take move, in which case... by the looks of things, whenever this takes profit, we get multiple down candles on the profit takes. So I suspect we will probably find a pullback. Want to be buying it up around about anything from $100 to $105 a barrel, I'd say, is where you want to be buying oil if you're going to buy it. But anyway, we've got 5 minutes to the open. So that's where we are with the indices. I'm looking for shorts. We've got some pretty tasty levels we're sitting at the moment, especially on the Dow. From a resistance perspective. So, yeah, that's the plan. Try and find some short opportunities today. So I should be trading futures today. For the day, for the afternoon. US dollar's really done nothing. We had literally nothing in Asia, and London we've done nothing either. Really, really, really sideways. I thought yesterday was sideways. So yeah, if we get a push this afternoon when we open in New York, then obviously we should see a nice decent move down on the yen. Sorry, on the yen. So I was just reading your comment about the US dollar yen on the indices. Yeah, US dollar yen's lovely level that. So it's basically Monday's high is what we're tapping into at the moment. Friday's high, Monday's high. Just done liquidity run out the top of that. But I'm expecting a little bit of strength to come through on the US dollar. So we'll see. We'll see what happens this afternoon. So that's the plan. We need to be aware of obviously 3:00, and be aware of what's going on with Powell testifying when ISM comes out. PMI even. Well, it's ISM, PMI, whichever way you want to talk about it. Same thing. Anybody got anything else they want to look at before we get started? We've got 3 minutes to the open. Mariupol has got no power. Just reading headlines. NATO are talking at the moment. I'm just watching the breaking news. Russian forces have taken control of Kherson. We know about that. UK says massive Russian convoy held up by resistance and congestion. No. Nothing I can see. That's the most embarrassing invasion convoy, isn't it? In a war. He's running out of petrol. He supplies all the oil to most of Europe and he's running out of petrol. Could make it up. Anyway. Right. So I'm going to trade the S&P at the open. We've got the NASDAQ and the Dow. Levels. Let's take that fib off. That's no use anymore. What levels have we got on here? Not exciting anymore either. So did you hear that? Was my dog. My dog's crazy. Okay, so just set up some hourly levels. Get rid of a load of these as well. What is all that? Got fibs all over the place. Look. Let's get rid of them. Right. Okay, market's open. So we've had this big push out into new highs across the board. So we'll see what the market makes of this in the first 5 minutes. Daily level. It's difficult to pick a daily level on the S&P. There is probably the best daily level. 44.21-ish, which we didn't quite get to. So if we get a push up to the 44.20 level and rejection up there, I'll be interested in looking for shorts. At the moment, we are kind of bullish, obviously. So we'll see where we're going out the gates. David, Aussie dollar, US dollar. Yeah, Aussie's obviously very strong at the minute. I mean, we're just getting extended now. So depends on what happens with the US dollar today, really. But I mean, this is due a little bit of a pullback, but there's not a lot of room on this to the downside. I can't see this continuing. We've got to get some US dollar strength coming through shortly, I think. So I think this is definitely going to be coming down soon. Quite when though, I'm not sure. I really think the US dollar's due its next leg up. But we've been stuck. You know, on the US dollar, we've just got stuck this week. As soon as we break these highs and get a close above these highs that holds, the US dollar's going to pump, which will bring the Aussie US down. But yeah, bit of a waiting game on that one at the minute. Okay, it's got big moves up on the Dow, just testing high of day. I'm going to go in slightly larger positioning today with a view to get out quicker. Got 125 bank from this morning. But I want to be in and out fairly quick today. Iran news made oil fall, apparently. What was the Iran news, though? I can't see any. It's unusual for Forex Factory not to have it because it's pulling information from loads of different sources. You usually see something on a spike like that, but maybe not. Okay, so we've got big moves down on the NAS. Dow trying to make new highs. So we've got a bit of divergence on the indices to start with. Confusion reigns as usual at the open. So 4,400. God, I feel like we've been at this 4,400. I keep seeing this 4,400 level appearing on my chart over and over and over again. We just seem to be coming back here lots. I've been talking about this 4,400 level quite a few days. We like it. Okay, Dow didn't manage to get anywhere near the new highs. Seller stepping in. Closer to some deal. A nuclear deal? Really? With who? Russia? Eek. Going short one on the S&P. Tight stop on this. NAS is coming down. Big rejection on the Dow. If we get back down below that 4,400 level, I've got a feeling we might not come back up here. This could be higher day we're seeing at the minute. A little bit early, but so we go. Looking for that level to break on the NAS. Sidebar, what are your feelings about once in the trade, once on the train, used to track trade? Sidebar? Oh, Heikinashi. You can use Heikinashi if you want. I prefer Renko. Just because it's cleaner, but Heikinashi, yeah, I mean, I've tried to trade Heikinashi before, and to be honest, I prefer candlesticks because I like to see clear rejection and absorption, which you get to see clearer with candlesticks than Heikinashi. Heikinashi obviously will just paint that'll be a green, that'll be a green, that'll be a green. You could use something like a 5 or a 10 moving average. And that will kind of do the same thing when it closes above there. Your Heikinashi will change color. It's just another way of looking at the movement. But yeah, I mean, you could do. If you're going to use anything like that, the best thing I think to use is parabolic SAR. should be okay. So Heikinashi, you'll find, you know, everything above the parabolic SAR, Heikinashi will probably paint green, and now it will start painting red. So you can use parabolic SAR as a kind of a similar sort of thing. If it works for you, though, I mean, use it. I mean, it's a personal preference trading. What you see on your chart that makes sense to you and you find useful, use it. Everybody's different. We're all different. Okay, we've broken through that 44 level. Nearly. Bit of buying pressure coming in. There's a bit of accumulation there. You see a bit of a spike in the order flow there, which we need to crack through, really. Aussie is rocketing, is that? So it is. Don't forget, we got non-farm payroll tomorrow. There'll be a lot of positioning ahead of non-farm. That's the mother of all shorts. We shorted this up here, didn't we? Did we short Euro odd? Yeah, we did. I remember, yeah, I got out here, didn't I? I got out here, and then I was like, oh, I missed that. Did I? Okay, so buyers are stepping back in at the moment. Oh, at least the jackhammer's stopped. Don't know if you could hear that. Guys in my garden having a new patio laid, and they're got a jackhammer taking up the old concrete base. The entire house shakes. Still looking heavy on the NAS. I'm just going to add to the position. So basically, we've tested this this block of orders here and rejected. So buyers have absorbed all the selling orders there. If the sellers can push back down below that low again, we should get through that this time. And then obviously we'll be coming down to congestion somewhere in this area here. So if we do manage to crack that low, I'll add to the position and get out down there. If this is 4,400 basically, this 4,400 level. Holding at the minute. Round numbers. The market loves round numbers. A lot of people buying at 4,400. But I'm not quite sure where they're going to go with it if they do hold this. I mean, we're at Just taken out of that order. So we're at the 61.8 retracement on that move. Can't see this being the end of the bear market yet, but hey. So see what happens when we get to 44.20. Assuming we're going to get up there. Just that level there. So this is a previous strong support resistance area. 44.22 roughly. So there. So may well be pushing up to there. Dow's going strong. So I'm going to take a long. So you can play a quick long just up to that level. Just going to take one. I'll take a second up there. Russian fleet heading for Odessa port. Really? Wow. Russian fleet? I didn't even know they had the fleet deployed. Afternoon, Gary. They've basically got it cut off now, haven't they? Pretty much. So got the Crimea down there. And obviously Russia's over here. So this is the Black Sea. Obviously they've got in from Crimea. So Crimea's below there. And they've taken that city down there, haven't they? And they've got this area with the rebels here. So they've basically shut off now, pretty much. Once they've joined this bit here, they've shut off the entire Black Sea area. So that's all Russia. That's the Black Sea. So they've now got this part of Ukraine completely to themselves to push in from. It looks like they're doing a kind of pincer movement from which they've got the bottom secured on now. So obviously moving their fleet into the Black Sea will allow them to just, I guess, missile launch straight into anywhere they want to. But isn't that controlled by Turkey? So if Turkey say, no, you're not allowed in, and Russia say, sod you, what does that leave us? Where does that leave us with regards to NATO involvement? It's all getting a bit scary. Is it risk on sentiment today? I've no idea, Ron. At the moment, it looks risk off. Market's going up. But I don't think we're going to get far today. I'm looking 44.20, 44.22. And then a drop. I thought Turkey was going to deny their fleet access to the Black Sea. Yeah, that's what I heard. Which is what made me think about it. Because I'm pretty sure the Turkish Prime Minister said, no, you're not allowed in. And Russia went, well, tough. But I don't think I didn't hear anything after that. So, but now if they control that entire south coast pretty much, I guess they can do what they like. Well, they're doing what they like anyway, aren't they? That's the problem. If it allows Russia to resupply via the Black Sea, prevent Ukraine from supplying their tightens the noose. Yeah, exactly. This is the problem Russia are having is supply. They can supply obviously out of Russia along the routes that they're taking, but I'm not sure they've had too much success getting the airports, have they? So they haven't been able to get air resupply in, and air resupply anyway in the airports is far further beyond enemy lines, and I think they want to resupply at the moment. So it's a big logistics issue they're having. Look at EA RSI now. Jesus. 8. 8 and a bit. And it pretty much 8. It is 8. Unbelievable. I've never seen anything down there. I've never seen anything down there before. I said on Monday I don't want to chase this. I wish I had. It's 3 ADR. We've had 3 ADR move already this week. Week's not even over. $125 ADR today. We've had ADR every day this week, haven't we? Literally every day. We got 120 there. 150, 160 there. 160 there. 117 ADR. Shot. Speaking of shot, bloody hell. I'm out of that. What happened there? What did I just miss? I can't read it. This market at the minute has got me completely dumbfounded. It really has. I want to short this market. I tried to short it at the open. It didn't let me short it. So I thought, right, well, it looks like you want to go up and then short. Whipsaws. It's just awful. Absolutely awful. If you're getting into this with a stop loss at the moment, and the stop loss is anything below a quarter of an ADR, you are just going to get all your money taken away. It's happened all week. It's just whipsaw after whipsaw, and expanding range after expanding range, and it's just awful, hideous to trade. In and out, literally 5 points. That's literally all you're going to get. Criminal. God, I looked away from the charts literally for 1 minute. We've got 9 minutes now until PMI and Powell. So I kind of thought we'd have a fairly slow open today. There's your 5 minute opening range. That candle has just basically taken everybody out who's entered so far today. If you've gone short, you're out. If you'd gone long, any point, you're out. So market is back flat again. They're just accumulating, so don't really want to trade this. Wait until PMIs come out. Might try and trade PMI actually. You've got as much chance of news trading and making money today as you have of anything else, haven't you? So yeah, 10-minute warning on that. I bet a risk off trade last week, and I'm still holding. Gain down from 3% to 12%, still holding. Looking good. Oh, Peter, you hedged it. Are you? You've got a long on Euro odd, have you? I think that's all you can do. anything euro at the moment, if you've got it long, you either need to cut it or hedge it. And if you hedge it, obviously the challenge is knowing when to unhedge. You've just got to, I think you've got to look at the wicks basically, and the days and the sessions. At the moment, we're not breaking any sessions. Yeah, so literally every single session is down. So the first session you get that gives you any sign of bullishness, so there's New York, yeah. The first session you get where we actually break a high in the session, I think that is your entry, and the time to take the hedge off, and go for it from there. Because even you can see, it's literally, there is not a session we've had where we've broken highs. We are literally open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. When we get open, drop, close, high, that's your spot. That's your time to get in. Look at that. I've never ever seen an embedded RSI like that. 3 solid days. Unbelievable. Okay, so 4,400 broke. So my original trade plan is working. I don't want to get in with I don't want to get in and hold it today. I've got no conviction in this market from a directional bias whatsoever at the moment. Moving averages say we're bullish. Price action says we're bearish. Accumulation. I've got a feeling today Powell is going to come out and talk about the estimated rate hike this month. They are still planning the rate hike, as far as I'm aware, this month. So really, I think with that, it could well send the market into a little spin. Obviously, the uncertainty with what's going on in the Ukraine at the moment. They are planning to continue the rate hike, but inflation is getting to ridiculous levels. And obviously with what's going on with oil, that is going to add much more inflationary pressure onto all currencies worldwide. So if he comes out at any point and says, actually, the rate hike, we're going to put it on hold for a month or a quarter or anything like that, we could see a massive spike today. Or any time. We've got non-farm payroll tomorrow as well, obviously. Any point. And then we've got obviously FOMC coming up. So that could be when they announce it. That's 2 weeks, mid-month FOMC. Okay, we've got pullback. So is this, what do we think? Is this pullback drop? Is this moving average bounce? Which way do we think? We've got 4 minutes to news. Do I play a news trade? I don't do news trading normally. That's 40 ticks. I'm going to go wider stop. Actually, I'm going to go really wide stop. I'm going to go really wide stop for the news. Part of me wants to long this up to 44.20 area. The other part of me wants to say, this is as high as we're going today. We're going down. I think today I might try and just build a position short and see if we can hold it for a little bit. I think we've gone far enough today. Not much movement on the US dollar. A little bit of strength. Aussie dollar CAD 125. Euro New Zealand 175. Look at that. Two minutes to the news. So much weaker open on the NAS than the Dow at the minute. Real divergence at the moment on those two. Bullish or bearish? We're holding up in this area here. So this this accumulation before the propulsion candle. Lots of buyers stepping in, propping price up at the minute. Whether or not that's going to hold, we'll find out. So looking for a short. We've got 1 minute to the news. If this trade doesn't play out and I get whipsawed on this one, I'm going to call it a day today. I'm coming to the conclusion that at the minute, there's no logic to market direction. And you're better off just taking a week off. Okay, PMIs are out. And Powell is standing up, having a chat. So we'll see what happens with that. Wow. No movement off of PMI. Negative on PMIs. Quite negative, actually. They were forecasting an increase and they actually got a reduction on the previous. So that is quite negative. Potentially bullish. So bearish US, bullish indices. Got a big gap down on that. Right, so Powell's talking at the moment. So likely we're going to see the market sort of accumulate until he says something interesting. And if he doesn't say anything interesting as soon as the speech is over, then obviously the market will come to life. So just basically holding on at the moment, waiting for some movement from Powell. PMI certainly not seem to have done anything interesting at all. Oil's still fading that move. No movement on the DAX. And the DAX yawns, yeah. We spoke about this yesterday, didn't we? 1 minute. I think 1 minute is the way forward at the minute. Look at that. Break of the high on the 1 minute chart. Bang. But it's even M5 at the moment is just so wicky. So wicky. So difficult to trade anything here. It's like trading the Swiss franc. It's just wicks everywhere. Meanwhile, watching GA continue to collapse. Oh my God. Yeah, pound is not. It's just pound is not happy at the moment at all. It's these New Zealand dollar. The Aussie pairs are absolutely killing it in a minute. Maybe the Aussies have become the new safe havens. Yeah. Economy's shot in Japan and US. Pounds come out of Brexit. The Swiss franc is too close to the European war for anybody to want to put money there. Maybe everyone's sticking the money in the Aussie and the New Zealand. Logical, isn't it? Never happened before, but hey, things are changing. Okay, we've got nice wicks to the upside forming at the moment. It's looking like good signs of rejection to the upside. Just waiting to get some indication on price movement here. Looks pretty bearish to me at the minute. But also very whipsawy. But we have got new lows, so tempted to get in with a starter position here. I'm just conscious, obviously, we could look to pull back on the NAS, which will push the S&P up a little bit as well. Dow's trying to get down as well. It all feels very, very, very heavy at the minute. Just very, very, very slow. I'm going to go short one. I'm just going to add one more there. I want to scale into this one a bit slower. Okay, short two. Still no direction on the US dollar. So anybody watching Powell live? I don't know if it is live, this one, is it? Oh, yes, it is live. Oh, no, that was yesterday's. Sorry. 20 hours ago. CNBC. No, that was yesterday's as well. Not that I would really understand what he's anything that he says that's going to move the market. Market moves when they think he said something. Still no movement in a minute. So basically just fighting to get through this support at the minute. This is kind of second attempt after the initial bounce. We've got a fair bit of price action and balance to get through there. We're happy trading there for a while, so there'll be a nice bump there in the order flow, which is just being defended a little bit at the minute. There we go. Got a bit of a pop into it now. We're just getting rejected again. Loads of buyers coming through still. I'm just going to hold these shorts. I'm going to play a nice wide one today. And see if we can hold this move through this chop. So looking to get through basically all this accumulation basically here to go from a green to red day. So just looking to flip green to red and sort of end up somewhere down here. 43.25 sort of level eventually, potentially. But 43.45 being sort of ultimate target at the minute. Assuming that we're going to have a down day, obviously. So at the moment we're just stuck. Sorry, 43.45 is my ultimate target, but down here 42.80 is where I see it coming over the next couple of days. Unless Power can say something and just pop it down there this afternoon, that'd be very nice, wouldn't it? DAX is coming down hard. DAX is just about to take the London lows. If it pops through those London lows, we should see the Dow and the other indices follow. Bit of a bounce at 180 on Euro New Zealand. Euro odd also putting a bit of a bounce in. Tiny bounce. A 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 Jeez. It's totally sideways at the minute. Obviously, I presume Powell is still talking at the moment. We've got a new reschedule. We've got Macklem now talking again at 8:30 as well. He was scheduled in for 4:30. Now also scheduled in for 8:30 as well. I'm not quite sure, but be aware of that. There's two talks later for the CAD potentially. Totally sideways. Last 10 minutes. Okay, just pop through that first support. So I want to see that hold that 43.92 level. And then once we get through here, we should be good to go. Powell began talking now. Oh, he's only just started talking, is he? Right. You watch these three contracts shoot straight up and out the top. I'm not being defeatist or anything. It's just the way my week's going. Nice breakdown on the Dow. We just broken lows for the last 10 minutes. Nasdaq's coming out the bottom hard. Nas is approaching the 5-minute support. So low of the day. May get some reaction down there. Probably get a pullback from that. Dow is just running into trouble here. Same as we're doing on the S&P basically. New low of the day on DAX. So we're looking for yesterday's low now. Next target on the DAX. Got a few buyers stepping in here. So this long accumulation that we had, that's the propulsion candle. So they accumulated buy orders in there, moved up. So this is where the buy orders are going to be defended. So we need to crack that level. Are you watching Powell, Bruno? And if so, what are you watching on? So new low on the DAX. Looks like that's holding as well. Still no movement. US dollar just sideways. Looking for a big spike on that US. You are watching it. Yeah. Let me know if he says anything interesting. I'll see it, but obviously, it'd be nice to know exactly what it is he said. Just out of curiosity. Approaching the lows on the NASDAQ. Banking.senate.gov. Right, okay. Oh, yes. There he is. And there he goes. Is that it? So should we be buying the US dollar or selling the US dollar at the moment? Right, 4 short now. S&P. Just got gathered up. We're just taking out the lows. I'm going to bookmark that one. United States Committee on Banking. I should put that in my bookmarks. Going to expect some kind of oh, wrong one. Should expect some kind of resistance down here and probably a pullback out of this area. So if it pulls back into there, as long as we don't break back above that 4,400 and hold up there, I would expect that to be a little bit resistive and then to pop back down through there. Let's leave that one there. I'm going to take one off at those lows. The other option, obviously, we could just sit and accumulate in here for a little bit. Powell is still talking at the moment. I saw him shuffling his papers and I thought that was the end of the speech, but it's not. Finally dropping the GU and EU. Yeah, US dollar strength coming through probably. Yeah. It's tapped straight back up into that high again though, look. to the pip, rejected it. Well, it hasn't rejected it yet, obviously, we're there. So we need to pop that. As soon as we pop that level and hold above that level, which was what we tried to do yesterday, we cracked it, but immediately rejected back out. If we can hold that, we're off with the US dollar, which means we should have a good drop on the indices this afternoon. But we'll see. We need to break that level first. And obviously, Euro US dollar will come down, pound US dollar, everything will come down against the US. Just going to take another one off just above this propulsion gap there. Assuming we can break this level. Come on, Powell, pump the market. Rising commodity prices will drive inflation higher. Situation in the Ukraine adds uncertainty to the economic outlook even. Stuck right at that high at the minute. Who are all these people that sit around the back? Look, there's always these people like sitting around the edge, isn't there? Like, who are all these people? How'd you get in there? They ticket holders. Having another crack at that high. Nearly there. There we go. We've ticked through it. So we're advancing on yesterday's high. See if we can get a little pop through to yesterday's high. If we break yesterday's high and go, we'll be definitely going green to red on the indices today, I would imagine. Let's see if we can get some momentum on this. Very slow at the moment. It'll probably all kick in when Powell finishes. One way or the other. Always waiting on news. Dow's running into buyers. That propulsion gap. New lows on the day on the NAS, as well as the DAX. Yeah. Come on, pal, pump it. What are those buttons as well he's got, look? His little buttons. Is that for him to give a yes, a no, and an I'm not sure answer? That's what it is, isn't it? It's the red one, a green one, and a yellow one. I guess if they have a vote. Interested to know how it all works. Don't really care. As long as he makes the US dollar go up. That's what I'm interested in at the moment. NAS is finding support down at the lows. Whoops. Oh, sorry, no, that's not the lows. That's these previous highs. New Zealand and New Zealand dollar CAD and the Euro New Zealand hit ADRs. That's based off the New Zealand moves. Big strong push on that one. X Factor buttons, yeah. Okay, so we're starting to pull back by the looks of things from here. Obviously not saying anything particularly interesting at the moment. So looking for a pullback up into the moving averages. Worst case scenario. Looking at 61.8 retracement. And then a continuation leg down. Obviously based on what Powell says. I mean, we haven't finished yet, so could pump completely opposite direction. But somewhere between a 30 to a 58 retracement would be very nice. Just purchased the RSI dashboard. Stevier, cool. There's different settings on the RSI dash as well. So you can use it for two reasons. That is the kind of what I call the power meter dash, where it shows you how strong the RSI extension is. And you can also use it as a multi-time frame dash. So it will show you the extensions across all time frames. That's because I don't use M30. Look, I haven't got any M30 data loaded in. There we go, it's loaded now. So yeah, that shows you obviously where we are across. So you can see Euro odd is extended, and you set, obviously I've set this to 70-30 across all time frames. All time frames. So it shows you that we are massively extended across all time frames. So this version of the dash, if you like, shows you how recent the strength is. So if it is strong across all, you know it's been a sustained move and the move is currently happening. So this is better for timings, but I don't really use that anymore. I really only use it for strength. There's no set file for it really. You just set it up as you want it. So it's just, if you want to use one time frame, i.e. this is my 4 hour dash, this is my 1 hour dash, which is exactly the same thing. All I do is change this from 4 hours to 1 hour. And then RSI period for the 4 hour is always 14 for me. And then you just pick your 68, 70, 75, 80, whatever strength you want. And obviously, if you want to use multiple time frames, then you would just have one set to 5 minute, one set to 15, 30, whatever you want. So it's not. I mean, you can have my set files if you want. I presume you're in the Telegram. You are in the Telegram group, aren't you? I can put my set files in the Telegram group. What am I doing? There you go. I've put those, the hourly, the 4 hourly, and the multi-time frame in the Telegram group. Gary, so obviously the higher the time frame, the better the signal. Not so much the higher the time frame, the better the signal. It's higher the time frame, the stronger the move. So to get a 4 hour, to get the RSI extended on M15, for example. So if you have a look at M15, this might not be the best thing to look at. But on M15, obviously, you're going to get way more signals. Yeah, you're going to get 1 or 2 signals a day on M15, and M15 will get more extended in a big, strong move. Whereas on the 4 hour, you're going to get way less signals. Yeah, but the moves. Come on, 4 hour. What are you doing? I haven't got any data loaded, have I? Where's all my data on the DAX? Zoom in a bit. So I mean, on the 4 hour, you're only going to get a couple of signals a week, if that. Some weeks you'll get no signals at all. But when it does get extended, it has to be a really strong move. And after a really strong move comes a profit take. So when you get those really strong moves to get extended, you get those pullbacks coming in, which is what we take in the profit takes. So lower time frames, you will get much more opportunities, and it's a weaker move to get the extension, so they're riskier. So all it is the higher the time frame is, the safer the trade, but you'll still be looking at roughly a similar sort of pullback on them. They're just nice. I just for position trading, 4 hour and hourly really is my bread and butter, as you know. So normally, it's when we're not having a war. TP'd on one. I might take another one here, just because we are tapping into the lows and potentially going to get some rejection down here. Unless we pop this low in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to take a second profit. Dow's coming down nicely, so is the DAX, so is the NAS, but we're all kind of reaching potential areas of support. So Andy, could that possibly be a 3-bar reversal on the S&P hourly if it closes like this? I'll have a look in a sec. Looks like it to me. I can see it. It's already a 3-bar reversal. Got push up. We've got a pullback, push up, pullback, which is going to be that, and this is going to close down. So yeah, it will be. I can see it on the lower time frame, but I'll have a look. Yeah. So there's your rejection, push, indecision, drop. Okay, so we've taken these lows. I'm just going to watch price action at these lows. If we get a rejection off these lows, we're also approaching the next level of potential support here as well. So, which was, what is that? What is that? Don't know what that is. Why did I draw that line in? No, don't like that. Okay, closing another one. Bullish, a little bit bullish at the close of that candle. Just moving to break even. In fact, I'm going to go out on 3. Let one run. I've got 260 banked now. So $300 at the moment I'm happy with. I'm not going to push it. Running at 325 P&L now. Right, GJ on 15 minute is hitting the buy zone now. Pound yen. Yeah, you're yeah. Perfect. So yeah, so you obviously can see we're extended on the 15 minute. So pullback, really looking for that. So you're looking for support, resistance, propulsion moves where we're going to run into accumulation sellers after we get the reversal alert. But so that's M5, M15. Yeah, M15. A little bit more room potentially on that. But yeah, you're looking to get back up to there. M15 though, you're not going to get an alert until you're up there. So with your RSIs, RSI mean reversion is a multi-time frame strategy. So whatever time frame you're looking at the RSI extension on, you're like, right, we are exhausted on this time frame. I need to drop down to a lower time frame and look for a reversal alert. So there's your entry now. Yeah, so this is the M15 RSI extension, and you're getting in on a lower time frame. So you're finding the condition on the high time frame and you're entering on the low. So M15, M1, H1, M5, H4, M15, daily, hourly. So if you get extended on the daily, you want to drop down to the hourly and wait for a reversal alert. Maybe M30. But yeah, it's multi-time frame. So whichever RSI dash you're looking at. So if you wanted to use a 15-minute dash, yeah, you can say, right, I want to get in some scalps. So what are we likely to do mean reversion on at the moment? Pound CAD is likely to mean revert on the hourly. Yeah, so on M15, where are we? Pound CAD. No, not pound CAD, pound odd. Sorry. So pound odd M15, massively extended. Yeah, so you got extended somewhere around here. So you would drop down to M1 and wait for a reversal alert. And there's your entry. And obviously you got all the way back up to the Asian lows, and you got these areas up here. So that's how you use it. Sorry, my elephants have just come home, children from school. So still pushing out at that low. Struggling a little bit down here though. Stevia, check those files. They are just spinning around in the Telegram group. I can see them. They got double ticks on for me. Might be your internet. maybe. Well, shouldn't be your internet. Pushing down. Nice sell-off today. About time I caught one of these. I'm just going to lock a bit of profit in. So I'm looking for a pullback to this wick. If we pull back any higher than that, I'm just going to scratch the position. Cool, what's Powell talking about? He's doing a good job. So we've broken out above the highs. And we're holding at the minute. So looking for a break of that high. And then we want to break yesterday's high. If we can break yesterday's high, we should be off for a runner on the Dixie. Definitely another decent move down. So if we do break those highs on the Dixie today, and we can break and hold yesterday's high during the New York session. What's the time? 3:45. We should be looking for some kind of pullback and drop play for the rest of the day. At some point, this is going to slow down and stop and pull back. Probably when Powell's finished talking. And then look for short opportunities. So pullbacks on up to moving averages, 2050. And obviously just stick a fib on this move. So far we're down to there. And look for 38, 50, 61.8 retracements in line with confluence. So it's a nice accumulation there. So anywhere around here, 50 to 38 today, I would say, around the moving averages. But wait for this move to stop. Still going at the minute. It's just a shame I got whipsawed out of that initial position, that initial short I took up there. If I hadn't have got whipsawed out of that, I'd have been holding that and scaling into that all the way today. That would have been a lovely long one, but it's very, very frustrating at the moment, this market. Very frustrating. Every day. I didn't trade Globex this morning. I did. I'd made $125 this morning, but I didn't. I tried not to trade it after my initial profit was banked today because it's been nasty in the mornings. Just starting to pull back at the minute. Let's have a look at what the DAX is up to. DAX is bullish engulfing. Powell, I think, has finished talking now. Just going to put a much tighter stop on this. And get out of this one. Oh no, he's not finished. Sorry, we've got. I've seen some other bloke talking now in a completely different room, So I assume that was it. But obviously he's talking remote to Powell. How long did somebody said this one went on for like 3 hours or something yesterday? Did someone was watching this or said it lasted 3 hours? Or was that this morning? I'm getting my morning and afternoon sessions mixed up. Yeah, this could go on forever. Ladder option. Would you guys rather recommend FTMO or my Forex funds for a prop firm? Up to you. Do you due diligence on them? Which one suits you the best? Which one's got the rules which suit your trading style the best? They're all different. They've all got pluses. They've all got minuses. They've all got very similarities, obviously. There's lots of prop firms out there now. Lots. New ones starting every week. Stivia sorted, logged out and logged back in and it fixes it, yeah. Yeah, the files definitely went from my side. We seem to be going into a bit of an accumulation here. Powell is still talking away. So as it stands, I'm sitting on $260 banked. Got $91, $92 open P&L, so $350 at the moment. So if it pushes back up to here, I'm going to bank about $325. If we push down to there, I'll be about $450 for the day. Oh, hello. Bit of a pop down below the lows there. We just made some new lows. Coming down to a propulsion area at the minute. This accumulation here. So we may find we get a little bit of rejection there. Bulls are stepping in. NAS, we're hitting that same area. Accumulation there. Buyers stepping in from yesterday. Dollar petering out at the top. So now we've cracked this high here, and we've cracked that high again. We've rejected that to the pip as well. So when we broke through that high, can't see it on this chart, can you? Go to M15. So when we broke that high there, we hit it, bounced off, slammed it, rejected it. Looking like we're starting to reject it again. So this is definitely a good support resistance area here. So we'll probably find we get a little bit of a pullback and pop. Obviously, again, we're just waiting for Powell to finish. So same thing on the indices. You're just going to see it happening in inverse. You're going to see a little bit of a pullback. As the US dollar pulls back down, the indices will pull back up, and then potentially a second leg down. Hopefully. But we've gone green to red. Yeah, so we were green. We've done the green to red move. Looking for it to... I mean, it could go bearish engulfing today. Easy. So hopefully this is the start of the next leg. But I'm going to let this play out. So basically all I'm going to do today for the rest of the afternoon... well, say for the rest of the afternoon, hopefully for the next 10 or 15 minutes, and this will be done. But we're either going to get a decent couple of propulsion candles down, take out that target, and I'll be out. And I'm going to trail that stop behind the highs of the last up candles as we come down. And obviously if it then reverses back up, I'll get taken out. So hit that one or it hit that one. But man, it's the only trade I'm going to take today because I've banked 350 on it. So I won't bore you with the rest of it, but hopefully it'll hit that low. Right, let's have a quick look at what we're doing in the rest of the markets. So DAX is still coming down, break those lows, still selling down on the DAX. DAX target low is here, yesterday's low. So I want to break that low and then potentially continue down. So DAX is having a down day. If we do break that low, probably not get much further than it today. And again, just really don't like the way this is so extended at the minute. Just get rid of that line. Oh, I can't get rid of it there. Okay. So yeah, I think we're very, 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 very extended on this one. But obviously we're in extenuating conditions at the moment. But you can see that we're getting quite extended on the RSI on daily. And when we do that, we do tend to normally get the pullback move like there. And we're there now. So it's the DAX I don't think is going to be as strong to the downside as the US indices because it is so much more extended at the minute, but it's so far away from those moving averages. But obviously with what's going on in Europe, this is going to be affected way more than the US stocks are. So yeah, I don't think we're going to get too much more lower than that low if we get down there. US dollar, from a daily perspective, obviously we've broken out the highs. We're approaching those new highs. Again, the US dollar is extended. We are due some kind of pullback move at some point. So if we do break those highs today, potentially we could see a reversal starting on non-farm tomorrow afternoon. We are very, very extended, so they might use non-farm to just do a bit of a pullback tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on that one, which means we may well get a little bit more of a pump on the indices, which again is another argument for the indices today to drop as far as they can so that they can have a little bit of a pullback tomorrow. But yeah, all nice rejections off the 24. Looking for next leg down to start. So still supporting the bear market. New lows. And obviously we have no idea where this is going. No idea at all. Talk of it coming all the way back down to 3,500. Yeah, it's a long way to go. Long way to go. So remain bearish on all indices. Sell the rips. Let's have a quick look at RSIs. So yeah, RSI still massively extended. Euro odd. Very little signs of recovery. Got some pullback going in at the moment on that one. But again, until you get a break of session high, if you've got any hedges, if you've got into positions long on this and you're hedged on this, session highs really is what you're looking to break. So this is the New York, obviously, session where we are at the minute. We've only just into it, obviously. If we can break a London high, and hold above a London high, that's really when you want to start getting in, but or start getting out of your hedges, basically taking profit on the hedge part of the move. But yeah, everything collapsing still from the euro perspective. Still going. So I'm just trailing the low of that wick. $400. I'm going to take it at around 400. There we go. Let's just close it out. Done. $400. Going to pull back at some point soon. So I'd rather take the 400 than let it pull back and give me 360 or something. So done for the day on that. Again, watch out for this afternoon. So as soon as you see some bullish price action coming in here, yeah, so we get bullish engulfing, get a nice big hammer forming and a pullback starting. Look for pullbacks into the 2050 area and obviously levels on fib dependent on obviously where we stop. Look for those for potential second leg downs today. I'm not going to trade anymore this afternoon though. I've got it in the bank, keeping it in the bank. So I'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:30, usual time. If you've got anything you need, stick it in the Telegram group. If you're not in the Telegram group, come and join me in the Telegram group. I'm always in there. Yeah, so be back at 8:30 tomorrow. News-wise, keep your eye on the news. Aussie dollar, US dollar major reversal pattern could signal a lot more upside. Really? So I'm just reading some news while I was checking out what we've got news-wise tomorrow. Aussie dollar, US dollar. Trying to figure out what that major reversal pattern is they're talking about. I guess they're talking about that bullish engulfing. I wouldn't call that a major reversal pattern. I think they're thinking highs. Yeah, if we don't break those highs, to me, this is a 200 moving average bounce with the US dollar powering up. So I don't think that is more upside personally, but each to their own. So what I was going to look at was news. So news basically for tomorrow, just to be aware of. There's nothing overnight. We've got Canadian dollar 4.30, 8.30. We've got Macklem speaking. Double check those. Not quite sure why we would have two. But yeah, so Canadian dollar, watch out if you've got any CAD moves on at the moment for movement later on with that. That's the equivalent, obviously, of power testifying, basically. And then tomorrow, we've got non-farm payroll. So big moves on the US dollar. And obviously, based on what happens today, we will potentially see a reversal start on that one tomorrow. So quite often, if we've had a good, strong move in the week, they use non-farm to do a profit take. If we've had an accumulation week, they will use non-farm to perform a breakout or a double-ended stop hunt. And at the moment, we're having a fairly decent US dollar move, so probably a little bit of downside off of non-farm payroll tomorrow, but we'll see what happens when we get there. We'll see what happens on the Asian session and during London, and then we can obviously plan for non-farm tomorrow afternoon, but we'll see if we can get a breakout of these highs on the Dixie this afternoon. Okay, so that's it for today. Hopefully you have a good one. If you want to carry on trading this afternoon, look for those pullbacks. Don't chase it because it's going to pull back at some point soon. Well, we should do, but hey, anything can happen at the minute. And I will be back tomorrow 8:30 to have a look at the London session. Sorry, not 8:30. What am I talking about? I've changed. Time is not 8:30 now. Live room is now 7:50. 7:50. God, I'm so used to doing 8:30s. 7:50. It's like that advert. If you're in the UK, there's an advert about We Buy Any Car, and Phil, who does the advert, keeps getting the time wrong. Keeps getting the amount of time it takes to get your valuation wrong because they've changed it. I've changed it. It's not 8:30 now, it's 7:50. So we're here for the Frankfurt session tomorrow morning. All right. So if you need anything, come into the Telegram group. Give me a thumbs up on the stream if you liked it, and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm coming on. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Have a good afternoon.